Bill Elliott still leads the Pennsylvania 500, presented by Pep Boys from the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. This is the first race in the Pep Boys When Your Car Wins, You Win sweepstakes, starting today and concluding with the Chevrolet Monte Carlo 400 in Richmond on September 7th. You can stop by any Pep Boys and pick up a sweepstakes game piece. Scratch off where it says car number and prize. And if your car wins any Winston Cup race between today and that Richmond race, you win the corresponding prize. All prize winners, in addition, who mail in their game piece will be eligible for the grand prize, a trip to 3 Winston Cup races in 2003. Mike Skinner carrying our Pep Boys camera today.
Mike shifting. Now that looks like a guy that's shifting twice, because he upshifted then downshifted before turn 2. Now what he'll do is he'll hold it here. He'll go through turn 3, and then he'll grab high gear around the start-finish line.
When he gets about 8,500, you'll see him shift.
Go.
See it back up just a little bit, and he's going to turn about 8,800, 8,900 going down in turn 1. Ooh, way up the racetrack, trying to use that outside line.
He's got somebody down on the inside, and there's Bobby the Bonnie.
A tussle for second place here. Tony Stewart's after Ryan Newman.
And there goes Tony. Well, I tell you, Tony Stewart in that 20 car is making a terrific exit off turn 3. What about the 12 car, Dave?
Well, BP, you were looking at the in-car on Ryan to see whether or not he was shifting, right?
Yes.
Did he ever grab the shifter knob?
I didn't see that.
Well, I went up to Matt Borland, his crew chief, and I said, he's not shifting. How can that be? And Matt said, oh, yeah, he's shifting one time. But, see, I learned something about Matt this weekend, that he plays a lot of poker, and he took money from about 4 of his teammates this weekend. But then again, they said he had 5 aces. So we still don't have a straight answer on shifting.
Well, we got the video, so I'll take our answer. What do you think, BP?
He did shift that one time we were on board with him.
If he shifted into high gear and he's pulling 9,500 RPMs going into turn 1, then they need to put that engine in bronze if it goes the distance.
Rain at 3.
What's that? Somebody saying it's raining in 3?
That's what I thought I heard him say.
That was Ryan Newman's radio, but no caution flag. Johnny Benson might have some problems. What's going on there, Matt?
Alan, Johnny Benson currently in the 19th position. James, have you lost all radio contact with Johnny?
Yeah, right now we don't have anything. We can hear Johnny. He can't hear us. He doesn't know that we can hear him, and it makes it difficult. And, the hardest part for right now is, the spotting issue. This is awful fast racetrack, him not having a spotter. So we think we got a good car. We just have to be pretty cautious right now.
Now, you and I were joking around that this happened last week with Jerry Nadeau. And what were you and Johnny talking about?
Well, it was kind of funny last week. Jerry got really frustrated. About 150 to go. We lost some radios. Thought we should have won the race. And in Jerry's frustration, he broke the mirror out of the car with his fist. So we kind of talked about it. Was laughing Friday, and we've at least got a plan worked out if it ever happens again. We didn't know we had to put it in effect today, but hopefully we can work through this.
You worked the hand signals out. The hand on the roof means?
Hand on the roof is tight. Hand on the door top is loose.
And since they don't have any radio contact, they have fixed up an old-fashioned pit sign. Tape on a piece of aluminum means pit. If the car is good, they're hoping Johnny will give them the OK sign, Alan.
You hear all the spotters and the crew chiefs talking to their drivers, and you see the caution flag. Rain here at Pocono brings out yellow flag number 2.
And Joe Nemechek is on pit road. Do you think did he pit too soon, or do you think he was able to get on pit road before the caution flag came out?
I am monitoring the radio traffic between NASCAR race director David Hoots and the inspector at the opening of pit road. They're asking just that question, and his answer is he was there just about at the same time. So tie goes to the runner.
Yep.
And Nemechek's good on his pit stop.
Well, terrific. Very smart move on Joe Nemechek's part.
That's Ryan big. Patty, the crew chief, with the heads-up call there.
But I don't understand why they didn't change 4 tires. Well, maybe I do now, because he's almost about to get lapped. I see. He would have gotten lapped if he had changed 4 tires, probably.
So the yellow flag once again, this time for some raindrops peppering the Pocono Raceway. We were under the caution at lap 1. When Steve Park, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. were involved in a terrible crash off turn number 1. After an hour and 5-minute red flag, we got going again, and now the weather is infringing on our fun.
And we can see the raindrops on the Napa Chevrolet of Michael Waltrip on the camera lens. This is Jeffrey Bodine, by the way.
Yep.
Todd ran the Busch race yesterday in Pikes Peak. Did not fly back to run today.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they wanted to go through the process again of starting at the back with somebody who hadn't practiced a lap in the car. And since Todd is committed by contract to that Excedrin Busch Series ride, hey, Jeffrey knows what he's doing here.
And talking to the crew this morning, Jeffrey Bodine was very thrilled with the car. Said, I might have a car that can win the race here today.
He has won here before. 3 times, as a matter of fact. Well, it's raining when the spotters are covering up on the roof.
Eddie Thrapp trying to put a garbage bag over his head. He would look good in that.
He'll hear you said that, too.
That.
Yeah. Yeah, they're covering up. There's Eddie.
Yeah. There must be a bottom of this. Oh, there's an arm.
There he goes. It's hard to figure out.
Now, how are you going to make that work?
All right.
Very nice. The finest and fashionable rainwear on display here at Pocono Raceway. For some. For others, it's not raining. Drop that green flag. Let's go. Pit stops will be at lap 25. Bill Elliott's going to lead him in.
And my guess is that everyone except Joe Nemechek will come down pit road.
Johnny Benson's crew no doubt will look to fix their radio troubles. Ricky Craven's crew will stick that tape Band-Aid on his car that we saw earlier. Dave?
The 32 car of Ricky Craven is going to come in. The 20 car of Tony Stewart in. Ricky Craven for the damage to be fixed. As for Tony Stewart, he said he needed to roll through the center of the corner better, so they're going to make a chassis adjustment as well as an air pressure adjustment.
Bill Elliott, Tony Stewart is moving 15.1. Elliott having trouble on that left side. Finally down, but long pit stop for Bill Elliott. He will go back to about 6th or 7th.
Sterling Marlin and Dave Blaney are going to get out first. Want to follow up and see whether they got 4 tires.
Now,
Marty?
It was 2 tires for the points leader. Allen just a little bit tight. They went up, run 1 round on the track bar. He started 13th, moved up to 7th. Very happy with the car, and they made no changes other than that track bar adjustment.
Gets him the lead, gets him 5 bonus points toward the championship.
Except Nemechek is out there in front of him.
This is true. Rats foiled again. Under caution for the 2nd time in the Pennsylvania 500. It's getting hard, the rain, when the flagman goes for the raincoat.
And we can see the rain on the screen.
Yeah. So they'll be withdrawing that yellow flag momentarily and displaying the red here at Pocono for the 2nd time already in this Pennsylvania 500. Next weekend, a busy weekend from Indianapolis on TNT and NBC, starting with Saturday's Butthole qualifying at 11 Eastern Time, then the Busch Series race from Indianapolis Raceway Park, presented by Midas next Saturday night, and the 9th running of the Brickyard 400 next Sunday on NBC, starting at 2 Eastern Time.
Already a huge race in NASCAR Winston Cup racing just in 9 years.
And all the testing that's been done up there over the last couple of weeks, everyone has been there. Qualifying should be tense. There's been going to be a big entry. The bubble, who gets in, who doesn't, there'll be some drama there. Just before the caution came out, we were monitoring Ricky Rudd's traffic back and forth between Michael McSwain and himself.
There. Pretty good. I'm a little loose coming onto the front straightaway. That's probably the only place I'm loose at. Like I say, they look like they've got 100 horsepower more than I do off the corner. That advantage is going away a little bit. It was with the 19 car. They got a different gearbox.
Yeah, so he's right. Well, first of all, if you're loose getting off of 3 or you're pushing off of 3 and the guy you're following isn't, he's going to look like he's got 100 more horsepower.
Because if you can't go all the way down with the accelerator to the floor, you're not going to use all the horsepower you have.
I'd like to see, I'm glad to see that somebody else uses hand motions when they're talking on the radio in their car. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Ricky was doing that. I've done that before, and then I go, why am I doing that? He can't see my hands.
Check out that white car at the head of the field, who did not pit under the caution. That is Morgan Shepherd, leading a Winston Cup race for the first time since June 1st of 1997. Wow. Isn't that great?
Berlin City. And all the cheers that you hear is not for the rain. It's for Dale Earnhardt Jr. driving the Bud car back on pit road, getting ready to go back in the action once the red flag is lifted.
It's going to be some 27 laps down to the race leaders when he comes back, but you heard Junior talk about it earlier, trying to crack that top 10 in the championship standings. He is 16th now. And really, as bad as that wreck was, they're getting back out without losing a ton of ground as far as
No,
laps.
it doesn't take much, Alan, for a couple guys to have mechanical problems or have trouble. And each one of those spots is so important to pick up for points when you're running for the championship. Or, like Earnhardt said, he's trying to get in the top 10 right now.
Yep. Red flag is out. Pennsylvania 500 is stopped for a second time, this time because of rain.
And it looks like they did a pretty good job on that car with the
It
tape.
does look good. You know, right now, if Junior goes back on the racetrack, when this race restarts, he'll be in front of Rusty Wallace, so he automatically picks up 3 points. And then if he can finish the race and 4 or 5 more cars will have trouble and fall out, that's another 15 points he could pick up. So
Looks like they replaced the whole front end on that car. You see all that stuff down at the bottom here. That's all brand new because that stuff was torn off in the wreck earlier.
and a little tape on the right rear quarter panel is all that was required.
Big Band-Aids.
That's the before shot, or
That's the
that
after
is
shot.
the before shot.
This is
after
the before
crash.
shot. Yeah. And look at this is the radiator that's laying down flat. Just knocked it completely out of the car.
Tony Uri Sr. just walking out of the camera away from Dale Jr. And his crew doing a great job to get that car repaired and get Jr. back in the hunt. But the big headline right now is it's raining at Pocono, and the Pennsylvania 500 is under the red flag.